just when I thought it couldn't get any worse. Joe Biden, that fucking coward, he just completely canceled his interview with Larry King later on this weekend. I mean, unbelievable. I was so expecting to hear the president speak to Larry King, and he just totally canceled. Unbecoming. No, I'm joking, obviously. If you didn't hear, Larry King died today. Sad. Sad to say. Now, I just wanted to share a couple of my favorite Larry King moments. Larry King's always been a guy. And you don't have to like him. I haven't liked everything he's done or said. But I respect the man that just did whatever the hell he wanted on whatever network that would have him. He said the craziest stuff. I mean, look, I don't know what you think of his 19 wives or however many different romance scandals or other things that have gone on throughout the guy's life. The point is this, comes from another era. This is one of the last of a dying breed kind of journalists, broadcasters. Someone that would interview anyone and ask anything. And man, that's going to be missed. Larry, that's going to be missed. Hey, good question. I'm going to try to do some of my worst Larry King impressions throughout this video, but I want to show you some of my my favorite parts about Larry King. Because like I said, he's a guy. He's just a total guy. So, CNN personality Larry King was arrested December 1971 in Miami, Florida. He was charged with grand larceny. He, at the time, was 38 years old, unable to pay back money that he owed a financier. Was doing some work for him. While a judge threw out the larceny charge because of the statute of limitations had run out, Larry King pled no contest to one count of passing bad checks. Haha. Larry King always knowing how to bounce a check. That's just funny to me. So if you didn't know, Larry King has just kind of always been out there. He's always been a goof. It's just, he's a funny guy. So first, I wanted to show you this. If you were not aware, Larry King. Hello, you're on with Larry. Schenectady, hello, you're on. Larry King, it's hard to just get it just right and capture it in a moment. It'd be very easy if I just sat here for an hour trying to do Larry King and then could clip it together, but I'll try my best. So, live here. He says, while interviewing a rape victim, the story is this. She's getting into her car. A man approaches her saying he lives just down the road. He needs a ride. She says, okay. He literally tells her, hey, I'm just going the way you are. How would you know? Which way? Anyways, Larry hears the story and asks the important questions. So here, just take a listen. This is awesome.
Conversation on the trip. Tried to stay on the main street, and when I got ready to turn, he said, well, where I'm staying is right up the road here. And it was again on another main street that I turned. So I took him a little further up, and then he said, well, it's just around this corner. And so I said, well, okay. And I just turned around the corner and pulled over, and he slammed my head into the steering wheel and pulled out handcuffs. He took my keys out, threw them on the floor, and pulled out handcuffs and handcuffed me and said, I just want a piece of ass. If you be good, you won't get hurt.
What did he do with the food?
He put it.
What? Okay, so again, I'm going to back that up. He is interviewing a woman who was assaulted, allegedly assaulted. The man was arrested. And so he's asking her, how did this all go down? And again, she says, this guy gets in my car and I'm trying to keep him occupied. I'm putting all of my groceries and food and all these things in his hands. Keep him occupied. And then she says what she says. And he responds with, what did he do with the food? What did he do with the food? Larry King answering and asking the most important questions. You realize he thinks she's lying. Larry King thought that the victim was lying because it didn't make sense that the food wasn't all over. You mean you just handed all these groceries over? Listen.
Decision I've ever made, I think. It truly was.
What happened when he got in?
When he got in, I filled his hands with a lot of food that they had in the front seat anyway. I tried to engage him and
He was holding your food.
Mm-hmm. He was.
At that moment, Larry King's mind as the interviewer is fixated. And that's why I love this clip. And it's obviously it's an awful story, but it's old enough. I think we can all kind of get a good laugh at the fact that Larry King's mind as a broadcaster hears, you're filling his hands with food. Okay, so he's holding onto the food. Got it. Okay, he's holding onto the food. Now, he misses the next minute of all of this terrible detail for her to then have to tell him,
this corner, and so I said, well, okay, and I just turned around the corner and pulled over, and he slammed my head into the steering wheel and pulled out handcuffs. He took my keys out, threw them on the floor, and pulled out handcuffs and handcuffed me, and said, I just want a piece of ass. If you be good, you won't get hurt.
What did he do with the food?
He put it on the
he put it on the floor.
floor, I guess.
What does it matter? What did he do with the food? What happened to the food? And so he did explain this. This is just showing the research done here, because I do like me some Larry King, and I've always thought that was a funny clip. He explains himself pretty well. He's on Opie and Anthony. They're highlighting the fact that they have mocked him over and over for this question, and he explains it pretty clearly.
Grocery store and got my car. Philip knocked on my window and said, I can't seem to get my car to start. It's cold. Do you think you could give me a ride? Which way are you going? And of course he was going to go any which way I was going. And so I did.
Why did you let him in the car?
I don't know. It was the worst decision I've ever made, I think. It truly was.
What happened when he got in?
When he got in, I filled his hands with a lot of food that they had in the front seat anyway. I tried to engage him in...
He was holding your food?
He was. I tried to engage him in small conversation on the trip. I tried to stay on the main street, and when I got ready to turn, he said, well, where I'm staying is right up the road here. So I took him a little further up, and then just turned around the corner and pulled over, and he slammed my head into the steering wheel and pulled out handcuffs. He took my keys out, threw them on the floor, and pulled out handcuffs and handcuffed me, and said, I just want a piece of ass. If you be good, you won't get hurt.
What did he do with the food?
He put it on the floor, I
That was
guess.
a very...
I don't know.
Hold on, stop right there.
Okay.
Now, you see you guys taking out of context.
Now I
You
would
took it totally out of context.
I finally
I'm
get an
reading
answer,
up-
though. This is
Wait a minute,
fantastic.
hold it. Of
We've been
course.
obsessed with this
Wait
one,
a minute.
Larry.
Wait, obsessed.
Obsessed. We played that clip a lot.
You played a lot?
Yes.
That was great questioning.
Okay.
I got her in the car.
Finally.
Yeah. Why did she let the guy in the car?
Okay.
I got
Great
her
question.
driving, right? Now
Yeah.
I got her driving. Now, she said there was food in the car.
Yeah.
The guy, by the way, I'm trying to remember this case because it was...
1976. It was
No, no,
Philip
no.
Garrido.
Yeah. Garrido was later charged with harboring he hit a woman for years. He's still alive somewhere. The Garrido case,
Right.
okay? He denied it. His lawyer was denying it. So part of a good police investigation would be, you said there was food in the front of the car, right? He's knocking you out of the car. He's taking you out of the car. What happened to the food? Did he knock the food over? Was the food found at the scene? One of my great moments.
All right. And
Okay. Do you not love Larry King? Just a little bit? And if you think that's a lie, he just said something dumb. He was fixated on it. He didn't know what the next question should be, so he just asked where he had left off in his brain. He heard food. He's like, what happened to the food? Fine. He's so nimble mentally, he's able to just sit there on the radio and live spin it and make you maybe he really did just have a really good question. Everyone's just, looking at him stupid. So Larry King, just an awesome dude. Here's the last piece here. He has a great sense of humor about himself. He always loved a good impression of him, whether it was Kevin Pollak, whether it was Norm Macdonald that famously did Larry King live. Anyways, I thought this was interesting too.
You met a normal person, he or she would be abnormal. So I would say that you're very special, Larry.
Thank you.
It's an
You're
honor
very
being
special.
inside of you.
It is, yes.
He says the craziest stuff. He's talking to Fred Armisen, playing himself. Yes, you get it. And he says, when asked, what's the best part about being you? What's the best part of me? And Larry King says, well, my son said in the car the other day, sitting in the car, he said, no one is normal. Nobody is normal. If you met a normal person, they wouldn't be normal. And then continues to say, it's great being inside of you. What? He's got a great sense of humor. And if you didn't like him, then I don't know what to tell you, because he was just the greatest. I love Larry King. This is the last thing I wanted to do. Show you this. This is kind of pretty.
I don't know what to say except to you, my audience. Thank you. And instead of goodbye,
How about so long?
So long, Lair. Man, we're losing a legend. Like him or not, he had some good moments and some not so good moments. And I just want to show this. That mic, many people use a mic like that. Johnny Carson used a mic like that on The Tonight Show for the longest time. It is a famous symbol of broadcasting and of speech and of free speech and of press in many ways. And so if you didn't notice, I've been using that kind of a mic for quite a while. And not because of Larry King, but just thought I'd show you that little Easter egg. Yeah, I like the mic. I like the mic style. I don't care that it maybe picks up some room noise. That's okay. You can hear that. Like this video if you would. Share this in memory of Larry King. He was not a perfect person, but he was someone that we should look up to right now. He helped do a lot for free speech. If anything, he asked some questions that you can ask or suggest maybe we're pushing a line, or he said some things he shouldn't have. All of that right now we should be commending just on its face. So share that video in remembrance of Larry King, in his honor. And then like this video and subscribe to the channel on all of the platforms. All of them. That's BitChute, Odysee, Rumble. I'm on Gab. Of course, YouTube and Twitter. I don't even know what Twitter is. So that's all. That's all I had to tell you. Do that and everything else that you can do to remember Larry King and to keep America afloat.